Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. And I just want to say thank you to the fans. Hit that like button, share the video. Last night I hit two big games. I won 1K on the Steelers, won another big chunk on the Titans. Let's get this money in week 2. Now, the first game in week 2 we have to look at is Cincinnati at Cleveland on Thursday night. It's Cleveland -6. I'm going to go Bengals to cover, but I think the Cleveland Browns somehow find a way to win this game. But why I'm sure on Cincinnati covering is because I don't trust Kevin Stefanski. I don't trust Baker Mayfield. And when you look at Cincinnati, I think they're more organized than the Cleveland Browns are. And the Cleveland Browns have a ton of problems, even though they have a ton of talent. Now, I think the big X factor will be Joe Burrow. If Joe Burrow performs, I could see Cincinnati getting this upset. But right now, Cleveland wins, Cincinnati covers. The next game, the Rams are -1.5 at the Philadelphia Eagles. We saw this spread move from yesterday. And listen, I'm going to go the Rams to win in the cover, but do not bet this one. Do not dip your feet in this game. I picked the Rams against the Cowboys, one of the few people who had the balls to do it, the intelligence to do it. But I don't want you to bet this one because Philadelphia is still a good team. But like I told you before, they're extremely inconsistent. And this is a game that I don't have great analysis for because the Rams have their problems, the Eagles have their problems. At the end of the day, we need to watch and find out more information before we can bet a game like this. The next game, we have the Carolina Panthers +8.5 or 9.5, depending on the spread you're using, at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm going Tampa Bay -8.5 to win in the cover. I think Tom Brady puts on the mask. I think he's going to go hard on this Carolina defense. This young Carolina defense, they're looking for solutions, but I don't know if they have enough talent to really put those forth. And then we saw what Brady did against Breeze last week. It wasn't his best performance, but I saw positives. I saw extremely fluent movement in the pocket from Brady. I saw great touch on the deep balls from Brady. Tampa Bay's going to roll here, but I want to see better out of Tampa Bay's defense because if Tampa Bay's defense is allowing teams to run on them, it's going to be a long year. I expect better from Todd Bowles, and I think Teddy Bridgewater gets the wrath of Todd Bowles. The next game, and people are really high on Denver. I told you guys Tennessee was going to win, but we'll talk about this game. We got Denver +6.5 at the Pittsburgh Steelers. I got Denver to cover, Pittsburgh to win. I have respect for Denver. I know this defense is good, even without Von Miller. We know this Denver offense is looking for an identity. And I told you guys I wasn't all that excited on Drew Lock. I think he plays a little bit better this game, but I think Pittsburgh wins a game close. And we're not going to learn a hell of a lot about Pittsburgh on a game against the Giants. Even though I am high on Pittsburgh in the season, Big Ben is obviously new men. I told you Big Ben would come out and tear it up, and he did. I think he does. I think he has a pretty good game against Denver, but I don't think he's going to throw it all over that defense. Pittsburgh wins by a field goal. Next game, we have the Atlanta Falcons at the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys are -5.5. Wow, when I'm looking at this, I'm just thinking, well, what the hell are the Falcons going to do? Are they going to start 0-2 again? Is this how their season's going to be? I mean, two of these teams are looking at 0-2. So when I'm thinking of this game, I'm going to go Dallas to win in the cover. I don't know if this Atlanta defense is good enough for me. And that's the end of my analysis because the Atlanta Falcons should be a good team. They should be a team that's competing for 10, 11 wins. But with this current coaching staff, how can we be so sure? And I told you guys McCarthy would start a little bit slow with Dallas and that I'm not a huge fan of him either. But I think Dallas does the basic things in this game, and that's why they win and cover. Next game, we have the San Francisco 49ers -7 at the New York Jets. San Fran to win in the cover. I watched a lot of games on Sunday and during the week one. I didn't see a team more unprepared than the New York Jets against the Buffalo Bills. I think you have to go to 49ers. The 49ers are going to have an attitude. They have something to prove after getting upset by Kyler Murray and those Cardinals. I think the 49ers pound the living hell out of the Jets, and the Jets just can't do anything on offense. Listen, you can blame Darnold, but I blame that coaching staff, and the Jets are the worst prepared team in this league. Bet against them. That's a money pick. San Fran wins and covers. Next game, we have Buffalo -5.5 at Miami. So Miami's the home dog here, and I got Miami to cover, but Buffalo to win. We need to see more out of this Miami offense. And I think they do offer a little bit more, but not enough to win the game. And Buffalo looked absolutely fantastic against the Dolphins, but against the Jets. But we still have to keep in mind that Josh Allen was still churning that ball over, and that will keep this game close. The next game, we have the Minnesota Vikings, my Minnesota Vikings, +3 at the Indianapolis Colts. Pick the Vikings +3. This is a borderline money pick. I'm not going to make it a money pick, but it's something you should explore. I got the Vikings to win in the cover. No Marlon Mack for the Colts. And yes, the Vikings looked like trash last week against the Packers, but I told you they would. But the Colts are a different ballgame. You have Phillip Rivers, a guy who's going to throw you 1 or 2 interceptions in this game, and I think that's the difference. And I think the Vikings are going to keep it simple. They're going to hand this ball to Dalvin Cook. They're going to hand it some more and maybe throw a few play-action passes to Thielen. I think the Vikings are going to pound the living hell out of the Indianapolis Colts. I am a little bit worried about the Vikings defensive tackle position and the Colts running it down the Vikings' throat. But without Marlon Mack, I think that makes them a lot weaker. Next game, we have Detroit +6.5 at the Green Bay Packers. I got Green Bay to win in the cover, and I told you guys Green Bay is going to take this division. In the game, Rodgers is in a good place. You just can't count on Detroit at this moment. And while Detroit showed some great moments against the Bears, when you collapse like that, that's gonna mentally exhaust you. That's gonna take the wind out of the team's sails. So give me Green Bay to win in the cover. I just think Green Bay's the better team here. Next game, we have the Giants +5 at the Chicago Bears. Wow, with this game, this game's tough. I have the Giants to cover. I have the Bears to win. I think the Bears win by a field goal. But the Bears are a team that's a mess. Giants are one of the worst teams in this league, as we saw last night. But I think the Giants are able to get a little bit of pop on offense. I think they got some vogue going on offense, and I think that can hurt the Chicago Bears. And the Chicago Bears offense, man, it is what it is. 1.5 against the Lions isn't going to change my mind, but the Bears do get one of the worst defenses in the league coming to Soldier Field. That's why Chicago wins, but I think the Giants cover. Next game, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars +9 at the Tennessee Titans. Wow, I got Jacksonville to cover again. I told you guys to bet that last week, but I have Tennessee to win. It's rather simple. Tennessee just has more talent. Tennessee is very physical, but I think Jacksonville's going to make some plays on offense. And with Tennessee, some of you guys almost lost your bets last night. I almost lost my bet because I can't kick a bloody field goal. Luckily, I bet the Tennessee game at a pick'em, but I would have lost my bet if I bet it on Monday night, because Monday night it moved to +3. I bet it at a pick'em earlier in the week. So Tennessee's a damn good team, and I trust them, but I trust Jacksonville to cover this as well. Next game, we have the Washington Football Club +6.5 at the Arizona Cardinals. Money, money, money! I'm going Arizona Cardinals to win and cover. And I think this is one thing I was forecasting before this year. I said the Cardinals had a chance to beat the 49ers, and you saw what they did. They have their style. They have their identity. And listen, the Redskins, credit to them with that epic comeback against the Eagles. But are any of you guys really buying into that? Are any of you guys really buying into that? Listen, Arizona is going to have some problems with this Washington defensive line. They are. But also, this Washington offense is going to have some problems with Arizona's defense. So I think this is going to be more low scoring than people think. But give me the Cardinals to win and to cover. Next game, we have the Baltimore Ravens -7 at the Houston Texans. Wow, this is a tough one, man. This is a tough one. I'm going Baltimore to win and to cover because I haven't seen a lot of belief. Actually, give me Houston to cover, Baltimore to win. You just got to think at home Houston keeps this close. If they don't, it's going to get real ugly for them. But we know Baltimore's the better team. Baltimore will figure out a way to win this game. It's just a matter of points. Next game, we got the Kansas City Chiefs -8.5 at the LA Chargers. Give me the Chiefs to win and cover, making a money pick. Listen, this Chargers defense can play, and they got some ballers on this team. But this Kansas City defense is going to get stops. And when you get stops, Mahomes gets the ball back. And whether it's in the third quarter, whether it's in the first quarter, there's going to be 2 or 3 drives where this Chiefs offense is just simply unstoppable. We even seen it against the 49ers last year in the Super Bowl. If you keep giving Mahomes the ball back, if you don't run it and burn clock, there's going to be magic. Magic will commence on the field, and that's what's going to happen. Chiefs are going to cover. Next game, we have the New England Patriots at the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle Seahawks are -4. This is a money pick. Seattle to win and to cover. Russell America Wilson on his home turf against the hoodie Bill Belichick, against Cam Newton. That's a big game. But big games are what Russell Wilson shows up to win, and I think that's going to be the case. That Seahawks defense held firm against the Falcons. They gave up a lot of yards, but they made the big plays on defense when it mattered. And I think they got a lot easier test with this New England offense rolling into town. And we're all excited about Cam Newton, and I'm happy for what he did. But I think this is where he gets the reality check. Reality is going to smack him in the face, and that's going to be the Seahawks logo. That's going to be Russell America Wilson dabbing on that New England Patriots defense. Seattle wins and cover, making a money pick. The last game of the week, Monday Night Football. We got New Orleans -6.5 at the Las Vegas Raiders. I got a fucking upset. Raiders win and cover. That +6.5, make that a money pick for the Raiders to cover. Josh Jacobs down the middle, play action with Carr. That's what's going to happen. And listen, this Las Vegas Raiders team is going to need to play some better defense to make this a full upset. But in terms of the spread, this is a goddamn money pick for this +6.5. I love exploiting the Monday night games. I think the Raiders are going to have a good performance. In terms of them winning the game, we have to see what their defense does. If their defense shows up, I really think they can win this game, especially since everyone's really, really high on these New Orleans Saints. Thank you guys for listening. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, share the videos. This is the Lawson Show.